And I said for so many years, back into the 1990s, if you want to see what's planned for the West tomorrow, look at China today. And in China, you have millions of cameras in the cities. They can find you in literally minutes, wherever you are. These, facial recognition cameras, etc. And they have this social credit system. So you get points if you behave in ways that suit the government. You lose points, credits, if you behave in ways that doesn't suit the government. And if you lose enough credits, then you are excluded from mainstream society. What happened during COVID to people that wouldn't have the jab and refused to wear masks? They were excluded from mainstream society. Exactly. That was a pre-run in so many ways of where they want society to go. If you didn't like COVID, well, you're not going to like what's planned coming up. So in China, if you lose enough credits, you can't go on a train, you can't get on a plane, you cannot function in a mainstream society. And this whole social credit system is moving very fast into the West. The digital ID, the digital currency, the control by AI, the control of everything via AI. You're seeing some supermarkets being introduced now where you need a QR code to go in. Well, what if you don't have a smartphone? What if you don't want to be part of that system? Well, you don't get in the supermarket then.
You pay with your fingerprint too.
Yeah, of course you can. It's the same thing. It's all this unfolding control system.
The UK government has released a video showcasing their digital ID system that's set to be rolled out next year. And in this video, they attempt to paint anyone who uses a physical ID as someone who's just clumsy and outdated.
Can I get a pint of lager, please?
Yeah, of course. Can I just see some ID?
Yeah, no worries.
It's got it somewhere here. Hi, can I have a pint of Christmas cracker, please? So we're changing the law so that next Christmas, young people will have their ID on their phone, so they won't have all of the hassle of needing to get ID or leaving their ID at home or their paper ID getting lost or damaged. So it means that giving your ID is safer than it's ever been before.
Safer than it's ever been before. I'm not too sure about that. There are still concerns around digital IDs and the security around them. Freya, what do you think of that ad?
Well, the ad left a very sour taste in my mouth, I must say. Depicting anyone that prefers the old school ID as somehow stupid or bumbling is just insulting. But I mean, I must admit, on this one, I might be a little contrarian on Sky. Here in New South Wales, we do have our driver's license on our Service New South Wales apps. And I must say, I don't even carry a wallet around anymore. I've got my debit card on there, my license, everything. Now I can see Kel looking a bit concerned over there. But as a Gen Z native, it's just I can't get around the old school paper stuff. I'm sorry. So I'm a fan of what we have here in New South Wales, but I do not think it should be mandated. And I think claiming that anyone who prefers the old school system is somehow stupid, I think that's really wrong.
Yeah, I think there are still concerns that no one should really be forced into getting this digital ID.
And also concerns about what it's really all about. I mean, the impression that I get from that commercial is they're lying to you. They're telling you you need this on your phone so that you can buy a beer, only if you're young or look young. That's not what it's all about. This is an app which on your phone, I take it, can track wherever you are and track every movement. You will live in a surveillance society where if the government wants to, it can know where you are at any minute, any time of the day, any day of the week, and it's all there, and they can check where you were at 11 o'clock last Thursday morning. I just think it's very close to Big Brother is watching you.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
And that worries me.
I think so too. I think there are concerns when everyone is forced to sign up to this. If you want to, and it's
Definitely.
easier, and you want to go out to the pub and buy whatever beer you want and not be clumsy, sure. But I agree with you, Kel. I
When
think
it's
there's
not optional,
concerns.
there's something going on. There's another agenda. Remember they brought out this health thing where you can have this My Health and everything your doctor tells you ends up being loaded there. And they keep reassuring you, no, it's going to be perfectly all right. Only authorised individuals will be able to get into it, including the sales staff at the local chemist. But, just authorised. But you could opt out. So I opted out, and I'm not in it. I'm not part of it. When they bring in a digital ID and they say, you can't opt out, you're getting this whether you want it or not, they've got another agenda.
I think so. Absolutely right.
The digital side of this is the other side of the control system, where if you have a digital ID, you cannot take part in mainstream society without the digital ID. That's the idea in the end.
Which was just proposed by the Prime Minister here.
Just proposed by Keir Starmer.
Right, with the reason being illegal immigration, which I would love to get into.
Yeah, well, what's kind of interesting, because
Problem, reaction, solution.
I do say, I've said over the years many times, this cult plays the long game. And I also came up with this phrase, problem, reaction, solution. You create the problem, blame someone else for it, and then openly offer the solution to the problems you have covertly created. And immigration went off the charts under Tony Blair when he was Prime Minister. In fact, some years after he left office, someone who was in that group came out and said the plan was to open the doors to immigration to such an extent, these were his words, that Britain was culturally changed in a way that was irreversible. Okay? Who's been the big promoter now of digital ID to meet the problem of immigration? Tony Blair, the man who's actually the handler of Keir Starmer. So they play the long game. They create the problem, and then they come out and say, here's the solution to the problem, which just advances the agenda. And so the digital ID is connected to the digital currency. The central bank digital currencies. And the key thing about digital currencies is they are programmable. Programmable so that from a central point you can dictate what people can buy, what the digital currency will work to buy and what it won't work to buy. Also programmable in an area that they will operate within, and outside of it they won't. So if you want to create, which is now a big thing that's becoming more and more obvious, more and more people are becoming aware of it, this 15-minute city isolation zoning of people, so that everything they say will be, this has come from people like the World Economic Forum, but it's much wider now. Everything that you need, they say, will be within a 15-minute cycle ride or walk from your home. And all these cameras that are going up all over the cities, like in London, they're for various excuses, like various zones. If you enter them, then you get fined if you got the wrong vehicle, or the congestion charge and all that stuff. All these cameras, number plate cameras, the longer term reason for them is to police these zones which people are kept in. Now, what better way of keeping them in a zone than their currency will not work if you leave the zone? How are you going to buy anything even if you do leave the zone? And this programmable money is the most fundamental deletion, potentially, of freedom.